Cool. Well, Mallory, glad to have you on the podcast. As if people don't know, you and I get to work together every single fucking day, and this is really
That's right.
awesome. So go ahead and give people a little bit of intro, what you do, and I guess all the awesome shit you do at home, at work, and all
Sure.
of the above.
Sure. Yeah. So I'm Mallory. At Tako Agency, I am our director of development and technology, senior developer as well. Started here part-time just as a developer, and convinced you that I'm better than I probably actually am. No, I'm just kidding. Convinced you to let me join the team full time, but also gave me a lot of control over it. So I do a lot of the day-to-day stuff in terms of managing the development team, managing tickets, interacting with clients, understanding their needs technically. And I'm also sort of the resident Shopify guru and
You are.
integration guru. I sort of, yeah, that's my bread and butter of day-to-day, I guess.
And you're a horse mom.
Yeah, I'm a horse mom. I live on a farm. I'm sitting outside right now looking at my almost 4-month-old baby horse. Behind me, there's horses and there's chickens everywhere. So we run a small breeding and training program, and we're between Toronto and Ottawa. And yeah, no, I actually live on the farm with my husband, and I bought this place with my parents when I was 25, so 4 years ago, and they still live with us as well. You may hear the occasional tractor going by. That's just
Dad working.
No, actually, neighbor, he's doing hay today. So, which is good because that's the hay I need for the winter. But yes, we all live together, and we have a pretty good like family dynamic. So like we have, we sit down as a family for dinner every night for the most part, which is kind of weird, I guess, in the scheme of 2020. But we've always been that way.
I love that. I think that's like a missed opportunity with a lot of families. Like my family, I can't tell you. I think it's only maybe holidays that we sit together to eat together, and maybe sometimes like on Thursdays when my parents are off of work, and I go over there and have like lunch with them or something like that. It's a very rare thing. So I'm super happy to hear that, and I always love when you guys are or when you let us know that you're gonna go do something with them or whatever it is. It's really cool. I love that shit. So there's the chicken.
Yeah, that's Ruvan. That's one of our 3 roosters. We have him and 2 of his sons actually, and the sons are sort of getting better at crowing, but he's literally right here.
I love it.
He's right in the midst of things. But yeah, no, we do a lot as a family, and I've kind of realized how weird that is, I guess. Ruvan, seriously, I'm in a meeting.
He does not care.
He doesn't care. He'll sit at our bedroom window because we live in the basement, and he'll crow into the window while Andrew's in meetings.
Oh, I love it.
So this is his thing. But yeah, no, my brother comes every Sunday for Sunday family dinner, brings his girlfriend, and that's just sort of something we've always done. And we just bought another house together.
Yeah.
Ruvan, seriously. Go away.
I think it makes for a good episode.
With guest star Ruvan. He's actually a very rare breed of rooster. He cost me $180.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he's a very rare breed, and he's a really cool dude. He's a really friendly rooster as well, which I like, because if they're assholes, they go to soup camp.
Oh, as to that point, when I was a child, I got attacked by a rooster, and I had like 10 stitches going down to the back of my head. Yeah. So my dad at that time, not that I endorse any of this, but it happened, and I was like maybe like 3 years old, and my dad literally took the rooster and just chopped its head off.
Jesus. Okay. Yeah, we don't quite do that.
Yeah. Neither do I. That was just like 19.
Yeah.
And that was like 1991.
I was born that year, Z. Yeah, no, we just don't like them. Like if they're nasty, they go to someone who processes them. Because I don't want them breeding. Like they need to all be very friendly. And he's a friendly rooster. His kids are all like, I've got like 8 of his children. They're all super friendly.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
But yeah, So yeah.
Give people a little rundown on how you got started in the tech world. Where's the beginnings of that? Because we were talking yesterday about you building games when you were 17
Yeah.
and then going
Yeah.
to
So
Shopify and all this other stuff. So where did your tech career really start?
it goes back even further than 17. So I would say when I was about 12 or 13, and it's actually really funny because this is the nerdiest shit in the entire world. A movie came out called Spirit, and it's an animated horse movie. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's a DreamWorks movie. Matt Damon's the voice of the horse. It's a great movie. Actually, it's really like technologically advanced at the time. And what it got me really interested in, because I was this horse crazy kid, was online games with horses. Um, so I kind of got into like text-based role playing, which, you make a character and you write what they do and shit, and it was horses, which sounds really stupid now in hindsight at like 30 years old, but whatever. So I learned how to code. I learned how to do HTML and CSS and some graphic design, and then, join these games. And then I started building these games, and then it evolved into building games like Neopets, almost always horse games. I've built a couple that weren't. Some of them were like mythology based, and but yeah, started learning PHP and MySQL, and it's very hacky how I always coded. I was never formally educated, so it's very much very intrinsic and very like, when you look through some of my old stuff, it's literally how my brain works, is like very procedurally, step by step. So I built these games. I'd sell them. They paid for a lot of stuff through university, paid for me to be riding while I was at school, which is not cheap, paid for me to have a horse who I still have. She actually just had a baby in the spring. I've had her for almost 10 years. And yeah, she was the reason why I had to keep doing it, because horses cost a lot of money. So
Yeah,
I
I
built tons
believe
of
it.
games. I did not go to school for computer science. So I started in theoretical physics, which is the dumbest thing you could ever start in. Fun story, I'm bad at math. I found that out really quick in university. I'm really shit at math. So I moved home and went to college for 2 years and did an advanced diploma in photojournalism. So photography. I worked in Kentucky for a large horse racing magazine for a while, and then did some stuff up here. Tried to work on the racetrack as like a trainer groom, and I just hated it. It was terrible. And I called my parents. I was like, fuck this, I'm moving home and going back to school. So I went back to university as a more mature student with an appreciation for academics, finished a science degree with a double major in anthropology and biology. Thought I would get into public health, and I got into a master's program and everything, and then just realized it was going to be too much money to go to England and do that. So I, right out of school, applied for a job at Shopify. I remember I was in Ottawa, right next to the main Shopify office at a hotel there, when I got the request for an interview. And I was employee number 480 something. And they're
Oh my
now,
God.
oh God, they're well over 2,000 people now all over the world.
That's crazy.
So I
That's
started
crazy.
there, and yeah, that's where it's gone.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Now, what was your first kind of role at Shopify, and was that kind of like your first like formal job?
Yep, yep. It was my first real job out of school, was Shopify, like right out the door. Got hired, moved back from the city I'd been working with my boyfriend at the time, got an apartment, like, and that was my job, working at home. I was a guru, so customer support. Very quickly, people realized that I was a go-to for code. I picked up Liquid very quickly, Shopify's theming language, and just sort of the standard way people build things in Shopify. I picked that up really quickly, so I was sort of, the rest of the guru team would come to me for that sort of stuff all the
Yeah.
time.
Oh, I love it.
Um, so I did some theme support as well. I actually went and shadowed with the actual theme support team for a couple weeks, thinking I was going to end up there, and I didn't end up working there. I ended up just staying on the guru team, and then I got asked, Plus was still very small at the time, I got asked to move over to merchant success manager, which at the time was just account manager for Shopify Plus, which was amazing because it allowed me to buy a second horse. Fun story.
Yeah, there you
Um,
go.
So I moved to Plus and was a merchant success manager, again, really specializing in the technical side of things, and had a lot of people just like, hey, Mallory, is this possible? Or integrations and that sort of thing. And then Yeah, I was at Shopify for almost 3 years, and kind of decided to try and go out into the real world and get a real job, as my parents like to say. But it wasn't long before I came back to tech. So I hated the real world. It sucked.
Oh
I had
yeah,
a job with a pension too, and I was like, fuck this. I hate it.
it's really not worth it though. Like if you don't enjoy it, honestly, I hate to like. It's one of those things like you could put all the money in front of me, but if it's like at this point,
I hate it. Yeah,
especially
I'm
that
not doing it.
everyone's, yeah, exactly, and it's like especially at this
Yeah.
point where everyone's going remote and all these different things, it's like.
Yep.
You gotta love what
Yep.
you do, otherwise you're waking up miserable and you're just like constantly bitching about things and all these different things. And I say fuck no to that.
Yeah, and like what I was doing is really important work. And I am very happy and very fortunate that the work I did was very instrumental in um, having better outcomes for like Indigenous kids that were in the care of Children's Aid Societies. So I did data analytics and data quality for a huge Children's Aid Society here. And a lot of the work I did, a lot of the data analytics I did allowed a Indigenous focused agency to form because of the work I did. And that agency is still running, and my best friend works there.
Right.
And it's really made a big difference for those kids. And I'm really glad that that work has blossomed into something really cool, but it was very boring for me because there's only so many hours you can be locked in an Excel spreadsheet before you lose your mind. I
Oh
could
my
never be an
God.
accountant.
No.
And just the software was so old. Like it was like an IBM based analytics software, and it's an absolute nightmare to work in. So
Legacy systems are the best, huh?
oh, well, they actually like they moved to like a province wide database system built by IBM. They paid a crap ton of money for it, and it's an absolute UX nightmare. Like
Yeah.
absolute UX nightmare. My friend messages me and bitches to me about it all the time. But
Yeah,
anyway,
no, nobody focuses on UX with those big ass systems, which is kind
oh
of like the
shit, no.
weirdest thing in the world. It's like they're so robust and they do so many things, but there's absolutely no user experience or just even like like seamless experience overall. It's
Well,
fucking
and they're
terrible.
buggy as hell. And like the data center is like a single computer in fucking Toronto. So when it goes down, the whole province goes down. And it's like, okay, like God forbid you need something off it because you're fucked. Like it's, I think of it from like a data integrity perspective and from like a DevOps perspective. And I want to throw up a little bit
Yeah,
because I'm like, oh my God, just throw that shit on AWS already or like Google Cloud. Like it's not rocket science, but it's government. So it'll be another 10 years before they do cloud computing.
maybe 20.
Yeah, probably the rate our government goes. But
Yeah.
yeah, so I did that and hated it and went back to tech work. And that's where I met my husband, who's also a developer, but he's like lives and breathes it. I don't. I go outside occasionally. He would rather not. But yeah.
So you're his balance when it comes to the horse life.
Yeah, and I mean, he has a horse. He rides. I taught him to ride a little bit, and he loves them. And they're our kids. Like they are our children.
Love it. I love it. So in terms of like building games and all that stuff, like what is kind of what do you play? Do you like play? Do you guys play any games, you and your husband?
Um, I don't really game a lot anymore. Like I used to game a shit ton, like console gaming type stuff
Yeah.
in university. And that's when I did a lot of my game building too. He still does. I don't. I prefer to be out here, obviously. But I will play like those horse browser based games, like
Yeah.
the ones I used to build. I'll play around on them because, especially if I've got like I'm waiting on something or just, it's a slow 10 minutes that I have at work, which is not very often, but occasionally when I do, I'll just like pop that up in the browser and like train my horse or some shit.
Right, right.
And then later come out and train my actual horse, which is kind of weird. But as a kid, that was my way to have them,
Right.
and to experience it. And there's a group of friends I've met through that I still know and that I know in person and have met in person and have had awesome connections with. Like one actually lives about 10 minutes from here that I used to game with all the time. She moved to this area. Another one came to my wedding from Florida, and we will be going to a huge concert next August together.
Love it.
Another one lives in Ottawa, and I got her a job at Shopify, and now she's up really high in product there. So it's like it's a cool community of people, and I'm still interact with them all the time, every day.
That's awesome. Wow. Yeah, concerts next year. I'm really interested to see what that's gonna look like. I watched
I don't know,
last
man.
night I watched the Chiefs Texans like football game at my friend's house, and we were like, oh, is there actual fans in there? And it
No.
was literally like one person every 17 seats. Like it was
Oh, they
just
actually had people in.
they literally had people. We were surprised. Like we were just like, whoa, what the hell? So because it was sounded loud on the TV, and I'm like, is there fans at this game? And then
Well,
all
look
of a
at
sudden,
the baseball, how they're doing baseball right now. They have like cardboard cutouts of fans, and it's absolutely hilarious.
yeah, basketball's doing like
Yep,
holograms and like
holograms. Yeah, like what the fuck? It's such a
Yeah,
weird time, but like from an anthropology perspective, because that's how my brain sort of thinks, it's so interesting to see how people are interacting and changing the way we interact. But I'm so hoping we can go to concerts by next August. Like this is a big deal one for us. And it's like it's one of those once in a lifetime kind of shows you got to go to.
yeah,
And I'm a live music nut, so this year's been like super fucking depressing for me.
yeah. My
Like even
girlfriend
just
and I are
small
really big
shows.
on my girlfriend and I are really big on like concerts and live events. Like that's one thing that we really really love to do. And
Yeah.
we had some concerts like lined up even this year, and everything got canceled.
Yep.
But interesting fact, so I read something the other day. The Live Nation, they sponsor pretty much like all the big concerts, and their CEO said when all this shit happened and they were canceling live shows, he says 90% of people did not want a refund for their tickets, meaning that they were actually holding out to like get some sort
Get
of
a reschedule.
get a reschedule or
Yeah.
something. I was like, wow, what a relief for them probably, because think about all the
Right.
money that they shell out to those artists and then having to do that. So that was actually really interesting. Made me think about like what's gonna happen if this shit doesn't come together. Like they can only do like half capacity, or
Yeah.
it's fucked up. It's really fucked up.
It's like we had tickets for something in March, and then they pushed it to April thinking that it would be okay, and then they pushed it to June, and then they just full out rescheduled it to next year. So that's for something local. And then I was supposed to go down to Virginia Beach in August to see my favorite podcaster and comedian, and visit a friend down there, and then that fucking didn't happen. Obviously our borders closed. You guys aren't allowed up here. We aren't really going down there.
I know, isn't
um
that crazy?
yeah, it's pretty wild, but it's just like it's so depressing because I was so looking forward to that trip. Like
Yeah, yeah.
well, and even the last trip I did was coming to see you guys, and like literally a week after I got home, everything shut down.
Oh, is that when it was?
Yeah, like I came right before everything shut down. I came to Sacramento.
That's crazy. I didn't even think
And
about that.
the first community, so the first case they realized was community spread in the US was in Sacramento that week that I was there.
Of course it was. Of fucking
So I get
course.
home and I see that on the news, I'm like, oh fuck. Yeah, it was absolutely crazy.
Oh
But
man, how
it sucks
has
because I
your
want to come back.
I know, right? Like that was super fun. That was awesome
It was
that
so
we
fun.
got to connect, and I really appreciated that. I think that was like a big thing for me as like just running a remote company. It's like, oh shit, like there's somebody that's actually super serious about like changing directions in their career, and you obviously had a pretty good job and all this other stuff, and it was one of those things where I was like, wow, this actually solidifies not a lot of what we're doing, but the type of people that are coming our way now, or that sort of
Yeah.
thing. So that was really really refreshing and
Well, I felt
awesome.
the same for me too. Like for me and for my family, because my family, we're all tied in here. It
Right.
was so important for me to come down and be like, okay, A, are these people legit? B, am I going to get murdered? Um, I tell you when I got in your car at the hotel, and my friend was like, turn your GPS tracker on so I can know where you are in case something
Right,
happens.
right,
So I
right, right. No,
did.
hey, I respect that, because that means you have good people around you, and you have your guard up. That's really
It
awesome.
sounds crazy, but
Hey,
family's just family, and they wanted to make sure I was safe. But yeah, just for me, it was so important to come down and connect and make sure that you and I were on the same page,
yeah.
which we are 90% of the time. I finish your sentences and you finish mine. We kind of stay
Yeah,
right.
exactly, exactly.
Sometimes Andrew goes, sometimes you two, it's almost as bad as you and me. And I'm like, I know, man, it's weird.
Yeah, it's really weird. Except
Um,
I don't have the developer like brain. I just have the technical logic. I don't have the developer brain. Like that's how I process things. I'm like, well, this should somehow make sense, but I'm gonna let Mallory kind of just
you
take
have
it
the
from
dev brain, you just don't have the like actual
like
like developer
yeah,
yeah, you
yeah,
don't
yeah,
have the
yeah.
Matt Haxer skills, right? Like
Exactly.
you have the right brain for it. But yeah, no, it was really important for me to do that because it just made it real. It made the people real. It made the relationship real, and that I wasn't just
Yeah,
going crazy and telling my parents, "Hey, I'm going to shit can this amazing job who took care of me when I got hurt,
right.
and they're not paying me a lot, but they're taking care of me and they're good people."
Yeah.
It really solidified that it was the right choice.
No,
So
that's awesome.
and
Super
I'm
glad to have you on
still
the
here.
team. Like I can't even, I tell you that all the time, but just super blessed that you found me and that you like reached out and you're like, oh, looking for a Shopify developer. And I was just like, well, this seems too good to be true. What's going on here? Type of thing. It's just like, never
Yeah,
know like the amount of I mean, we're constantly hunting for more people because we're growing, and it's just like you get 100,000 people applying and you get one person that's like, oh, you're legit, like you're fucking legit
yeah,
type of thing. So
yeah,
it's
and the
crazy.
team we have right now is unreal.
Yeah,
And even just like I've just been, where we are is just a core team, like the three of us now.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
awesome, and I've made some great relationships with the people who I work with. But like, yeah, I'm just super stoked on this, and I think what we do will change and mold over the next couple of years, but at the same time, it's all going to have the same skeleton underneath, the same spirit,
Yeah,
and
I've already put it out.
that's what
Yeah,
I'm
I've
hearing.
already put it out into the universe for us to shift into that product world so that we can just build shit that we want to
Yeah,
build and have
I
our
love
little
product. I love it so
yeah.
much.
Yeah, because it's a lot less stress. Like it's a lot less
Uh,
bullshit. I mean, although I do have to say, like, we do have some pretty awesome clients now, and
we
nobody's
do right
like
now.
haggling
Yeah.
us and any of that stuff. But I think at the end of the day, it's just like, building out the stuff that get excited about, like this game that we were just talking about, and you're just like, hey,
Hmm.
I want to do these things. I'm like, this sounds amazing. I don't even know much about horses, but this sounds like a good idea.
You're gonna
Like that.
learn, bro.
Exactly. That's all I'm about. Just like new things to learn every single day. But
Yep.
how has your life or even just your family's life changed due to the whole COVID thing? Have you like, I mean, I know we all work remote,
Um,
so it's not been like a huge thing, but is it just more of like not being able to travel, or is it more so just kind of like being a little stir crazy? I mean, you obviously have fucking acres and acres to live on, but
you
which
can
most
still go
people don't.
stir crazy here.
Yeah, I believe it. I
Like
believe it.
I will say, so okay, so Andrew started working from home. He used to commute every day to Kingston, which is about an hour east of here. And my mom worked in Belleville, which is 20 minutes from here. She works for our version of the IRS, and she used to travel a lot for her job. And I think that kept her fairly sane.
Yeah,
So the big change for us is all of a sudden all three of us are at home, and my dad is still out working on the road. My dad's a project manager for a construction company. He's a retired contractor. Um, so the three of us at home all the time can be a little taxing, but we've managed to make it work. So we all work in different spaces. Excuse me, and it's still very important to us to still have our own thing. So Andrew goes down and plays video games when he's done at the end of the day. I fuck off outside here,
yeah.
and mom will do stuff outside or whatever mom does. Accounting is her hobby. I don't really know why, but doing my books and records, my brother's books and records for his business is her hobby, which is crazy. But anyway, yeah, like that's been really challenging. The other really challenging thing is not really being able to go out, and so horse shows got canceled. That's a big thing, is like that's my whole summer usually.
Right.
Whether it be as a competitor or taking my store, because I have a little tack shop that I take to shows all over Ontario, and we used to do that every summer. I've traveled on the road in a sales aspect for horse stuff for the past 6 years in
Wow.
some way or another. And this is the first year I haven't done it, which kind of sucks because I have all these connections with people, with Olympians, with big name riders, and just friends that I haven't seen. Shows that I used to go to every year that were like tradition, and my mom always would come with me and be my help. Like we'd stay in this particular hotel and have lunch at this particular place. It changed my summer quite a bit. And then obviously, travel plans getting fucked. I can't just go see my friends. Like I have friends that are immune compromised, so we've had to be really careful.
Right.
The first time I really traveled in the past 6 months was last weekend. I went to Ottawa for a day to visit a friend and her horses, and she actually owns the father of the foal.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I went to see her dad, and that was like the most I've really traveled in the past little bit, and it just felt nice to get in the car and just drive for 2 hours. Like that's the thing I kind of miss. It's very odd to say because I love being at home and stuff, but I also love being on the road. Like I've been on the
Yeah.
road every summer for 6 years, right? So it's been really weird in that way. And like I try to go out and drive a lot because I like being in the car. I like driving
Yeah.
around,
I'm a road trip person
Um,
myself. I love road
yeah, I
trips.
love road trips. Like
Road
half the
trips are the
time it's the
best.
journey is the best part.
Yeah. Yeah.
I get
Stopping at
there,
a
okay,
gas
I'm there.
station, getting snacks and shit like that.
Yeah. Or just the like driving to music cranked. Like I max the speakers out on that Jeep all the friggin' time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's my jam is loud music. So
Yeah.
I don't know,
Exactly.
it's been weird in that way. And obviously concerts, like summers, I love to go to patios, live music,
Right.
craft beer. Me and craft beer. Like
Right. 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 Right.
it's
Right.
just throwing a wrench in things, man. And it's
Yeah.
coming, but flu season's also coming. So I'm, an epidemiologist by education, so I know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. That's crazy. Do you
gonna go
feel
to
like
shit
you've
again.
lost some of your like creative like footing since all this kind of came to a halt? Like do you feel like, or what
Absolutely.
is your creative space? Is it being like with your horses and just walking around and doing things, or is it like when you're on the road, where does your creative juices start flowing?
My creativity comes from variety.
Okay.
It comes from different things. So, I'll be riding and it's almost like kinetic meditation. I'm so focused on what I'm doing. And then all of a sudden, an answer to a problem will come. Or I'll wake up in the middle of the night being like, oh, that coding problem that I couldn't solve yesterday, I can solve it now. And one thing I've really noticed in the past 6 months is I've barely touched code. And that has nothing to do with my workload.
Right.
I just don't feel inspired.
There you go.
Um,
There you go.
like it's just all of a sudden it feels like there's a gap there, and that's part of why I wanted to get back into building a game. Was it was like, okay, this gives me an excuse to actually code again.
Right.
um
Right. Right. Right.
and
Exactly.
and kind of might actually force me to code with someone else doing the design, because that's the part I hate doing.
Yeah.
um my creativity really just comes from variety in life, and I'm very much a routine person, but I also really don't I always want to be encountered with something new every day that forces me to think differently, or um, put in a scenario where I have to sort of solve a problem, which is why I like what I do so much, because literally no 2 hours are the same.
Right. Right. Right.
Um,
Exactly. You wake up every morning, it's something completely different.
well, yeah, that's kind of the great thing about it, and that I think has honestly, Z, kept me sane through this whole fucking thing.
Oh, yeah, me
This
too.
whole
Trust
COVID
me.
thing. If I did not have Taco, I would be a fucking raging lunatic, more than I already am. Like I'm already a crazy person, but like I would be nuts. I would be so fucked up. Like I truly am thankful for it, because man, I'm so content with life right now, even though shit's insane in the world.
Right.
Things are going crazy. The US is on fire, literally. Like
Oh my God. The West Coast is literally like burning. Like literally. I
my
looked at a map
cousins,
yesterday. It's
it's on fire.
it's not even real like how many fires. I think there's like over like 250 fires going on.
And just because someone needed to reveal the gender of their fucking baby, I
That's
hope
one
they
of
feel
them.
bad.
Right. They're getting charged with criminal charges at the moment, by the
I would
way.
hope so. That's like
Yeah.
involuntary manslaughter. But
Seriously,
like
that's
I have cousins in Oregon. I have tons of friends like you guys in California. I have friends that lost horses in the fires in
oh,
California. It's absolutely devastating. Their entire herds
oh.
all gone
That's like
everywhere.
the thing. I don't want to be insensitive in any way, but like I almost feel a lot worse for like the animals than I do for anybody else. Like I'm not saying
Well,
like
they rely on
yeah,
us for everything.
exactly. That's what it is. It's like if we're okay, they need to be. They must like. It's crazy. I mean,
Yes.
even that Sweet Farms thing that we were doing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
They
was
had to
just
evacuate.
Yeah, and I was just like, I
It's
went and like
crazy.
donated to them, and they finally posted something like on Instagram the other day that they're like back in their shelter and back to their home, and I was
Oh,
just
good.
like so happy. It's like I felt like I brought them home almost, because like I was just like, oh,
Aw,
they're back in their place. I love this. Like it makes me so happy.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, and
but
the thing with horses in those scenarios is what you're supposed to do is just let them go. Or even in like a
really,
hurricane scenario, you just let them go because most of the time their instinct is more powerful than you or I can control. So a horse in a fire generally is very dangerous because they're going to want to run a certain way. Now, unfortunately, sometimes they run into fire. Their instinct tells them that. We don't know why.
oh shit,
But what the recommendation is for wildfires is to braid your phone number and contact information, the horse's info into its mane, just let it go. And that's what my friend did, and they all went into a valley and they got trapped. And yeah,
uh,
it's so sad. I'm not going to bring the mood of the podcast down anymore with it.
no, no,
She's
no,
very
that's super sad.
obviously devastated, but
Right,
it's,
right, right.
I mean, I
Yeah, I
love
had no idea. See,
California,
I learned
but
something new about horses just talking about that. Like I had no idea that that's
yeah, so like there's even here we have safety precautions. You know, when I keep horses inside at night, their halters are always on the stall. I don't leave them on. Some people will. If I have to go get them in an emergency, I can get them out really quick.
right, right,
We've
right,
had
right.
tornado warnings here. I will make sure that everything's prepared for that. Like it's,
Wow.
you have to trust their instincts sometimes, but sometimes it just doesn't work out. Like dogs are the
Right.
same though, you know.
I'm the type of
But
person that would bring them all
yeah.
into my house. I would put them all into my room.
Well, we do have a ramp on the deck that Sam has tried to walk up before, so I wouldn't put it past him. He'd sit on the couch, but yeah, like if I had to, I would just let them go, and
Right.
they would figure it out, and I would put like little GPS trackers on them. But we don't run into that sort of issue here, thankfully. The biggest risk I have is where I am is trees coming down, and they generally don't get hit by a tree.
Right, right, right. Exactly. Exactly.
Or
That's
like ice storms, but in the ice they stay in the barn, and like we just make
yeah.
sure we have lots of water and we have generators. So that's the biggest risk here. And I suppose I would take that over hurricanes or wildfires
Yeah.
at the end of the
Yeah.
day, but
Oh
I don't
man.
know.
It's pretty crazy. Life is pretty crazy right now. 2020 just needs to come to an end already, I feel like.
I'm worried about 2021 being worse.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you. I think
Like what else
it's
could go wrong?
yeah.
What else
What
could
else could go? Yeah, exactly. In California, we're prone to a really big earthquake, which is not something
Yeah,
I would
you're
look forward.
that's yeah, that I actually was watching a documentary on that the other day and I was like, it's coming.
Yeah,
That
it's
fault's gonna
definitely.
go.
Yeah, it's definitely
Or those
coming.
big volcanoes on the west coast, like Mount Shasta, Mount Hood.
Right, right, right. Exactly, exactly. But yeah, no, that's really, really, really insane.
It's crazy
So
stuff.
what is something that people don't know about you that you enjoy doing outside of all the things you've already talked about? Is there anything that like you're willing to share that you're like, oh, this is like my secret little thing that I do?
I'm pretty open
That's
and
good.
transparent.
Yeah.
Um, I find myself fangirling over stuff, but I mean, anybody can really anybody can really look at me and be like, "Oh yeah, you fangirl over XYZ," because I either wear it literally on my arm,
Right, right,
Star
right,
Wars, or literally
right.
on my sleeve. Like I'm very very much transparent that way. I like what I like and I want people to know about it, damn it.
I love it.
Yeah, I think I'm just a ridiculous fangirl, but most people know that about me that
Yeah,
know me. So
that's
like, oh
awesome.
my God, Mallory, please shut up about XYZ thing. So
Yeah, yeah, no,
like, oh, you want to have a Star Wars wedding? Okay, fine, go ahead. Um, oh, you want to go to your honeymoon at a Rammstein concert? Okay, off you go. Um, yeah,
I love it. I love it. No, that's really awesome.
I
In
don't
term,
think I have any weird. I'm trying to think now. Do I have any like? I don't want people to know I like that. Um,
right.
no,
Yeah, I
no,
think we're all
I
pretty
don't.
transparent on our team with
I'm
everything
an
that
open
we
book.
do. Yeah, I think so too. Me too. Like I don't really have anything that I'm like, oh, I truly love doing this and nobody knows about it type of thing. It's really weird. It's really
Yeah, I
weird.
don't. I don't. Why would you hide shit like that? I don't
I
know.
know. I know.
I
If
just don't
anything,
like
that
people who
actually
aren't
brings,
honest.
yeah, and exact that very much so. And the other thing is like, if you hold a lot of that stuff in, you'll never find out who else is like, you know, doing that, or maybe you become
Well, I
best
just
friends with them.
I just discovered a longtime friend of mine loves Rammstein. And I like, she's like, we've spent hours and hours and hours together and known each other for fucking 15 years. And I didn't know this. And so she's coming to the concert now with us next August. And it's like, where the fuck was this? Why did you? And now we can fangirl over, you know, mid-50s German men. Why did you not tell me this? So like that literally just happened like 2 days ago. And it was like, I don't know why we've never talked about this in like 15 years. What the hell is going on? We know we like horses. We know we're horse people. That is firm and game people.
Right.
But this is new. All right, cool. So now she sends me gifts all day and it's in Slack and it's great.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. To shift gears a little bit, where do you see kind of like the whole, I mean, now everybody's like shifting with the I mean, you even yourself used to go do road shows and sell stuff and all this, and you obviously have a Shopify store. Where do you see kind of the e-commerce world going into now? Like everyone obviously has to have something online and all this. Do you have any kind of predictions of like what you see happening, even like maybe with some of our clients, or what like the landscape of things
100%
are?
Subscriptions.
Yeah,
like
I would agree.
I talked to somebody at Shopify Plus the other day with some feature feedback, and I was saying to them, you guys truly need to think, and you need to think really detailed on it, is how subscriptions are going to impact the Plus ecosystem,
right?
And how you can integrate it into these features, whether that be Shopify Flow or Launchpad. How can you bring them in? Because that's where things are going. So it seems to go through these really interesting cycles. So I remember it going through that drop shipping cycle. That's kind of still a thing.
Yeah.
And then there was also
fading
like,
out a little bit. People are noticing you can't really capitalize too much on it anymore. I mean,
like the people that did, and they got their money. Like, hopefully they invested it wisely. And then the other thing is has been the direct to garment printing. That was huge for a year or so, and then it's just kind of fizzled out. Now it's subscriptions. That being said, I think subscriptions is a more sustainable model because it's literally recurring income. And as long as you have a good product offering, as long as you have, so like I think of some of our clients that do supplements or you know, food products, that sort of thing. That's like look at fucking HelloFresh and that shit. Like that's the future of online business. And if you can't offer a subscription offering, I think really the future is just in being more accessible to people online. Like I think of a lot of retailers that have shifted to being more and more mobile friendly. So that's, you know, something that obviously is just a big shift anyway. But understanding that people aren't shopping in person anymore. You know, and even aggregate platforms like Amazon, while they're still doing really well, I think you'll see that start to slow. I could be totally fucking wrong here, but I think you'll see people, especially COVID has really brought attention to the fact that Amazon makes too much goddamn money, and that there are a lot of small retailers that sell the same stuff. And if you buy directly from them, you're actually really supporting those people. And I think that sphere is happening, that change is happening. People are realizing there are so many cool small businesses online that I'd rather support than Amazon.
Yeah,
which is awesome. And also the government incentives too. Like, I don't know if you saw what the Canadian government's doing with Shopify, and Google's also now on board too, with COVID incentives to get people online.
Yeah, no, that's really awesome. So what I was talking to somebody else the other day, and I feel like what it's going to shift through, like we're on this like huge like wavelength right now. Everything's instant gratification, Amazon, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go drive down the street and you're like, oh, this entire like center of businesses is just completely shut down. And what reason? Who knows? It might be, you know, they were shut down for too long and they can't sustain with like maybe some of the, you know, quote unquote savings that they had, or, you know, money in their bank account, whatever it is. I was talking to somebody now, what I feel like is going to be the next sort of shift in things is kind of Facebook, I think, kind of tried to do this with the marketplace thing, but I feel like it's going to be like community stores, and it's going to be like a
peer-to-peer.
Yeah, like marketplace
Mhm.
type of community stores. So you, for example, created one website and you give access to like merchants to come in and post their stuff for local, like let's say a 10 to 15-mile radius as far as you can deliver it. Like I think the instant gratification that Amazon provides of sending something to you within 2 days for free, I think is going to turn into same day drop off or
Hyper
pick
local
up,
fulfillment
hyper local fulfillment. Yeah,
is
exactly.
what I
I
would
think
call that.
that's, I think, exactly where things are going to head into at some point,
Yeah, that's
because of the
interesting.
fact that people are just, they want that instant gratification, but that's, I think, the only mesh you get between instant gratification and helping out your small local business at the same time. It's like
Yeah,
you
or
can
even things like Uber Eats or Skip the Dishes,
yeah,
really helping. Like, so we went out for lunch last weekend, and we were talking to the server, and he was basically like, Skip has kept us alive.
yeah,
We've been so
DoorDash
busy
over
on
here.
with Skip or DoorDash in the
Yeah,
US. Like, so it's that instant gratification, but the ability to sort of like marketplace it.
yeah,
So like that's the cool thing about Skip the Dishes, DoorDash, is it's like, I don't fucking know what I want. Oh, Andrew wants Indian and I want Korean food today, so we'll order that
right.
and get it delivered. Now we don't get it here, sadly. If we did,
Right.
I would be so poor it's not even funny. um we're way too far out of town for that shit. It's probably good in the end, but I think yeah, that for merchants and even like hyper local fulfillment in terms of like, so Shopify was trying to do something similar. I don't know if you saw this at Unite last year. They announced their own fulfillment network,
Yeah,
like Amazon. So they're trying to do that, but doing it for the smaller guy. That is a big step forward. And
yeah.
when they announced that at Unite, I was so fucking excited because I know so many business owners that could leverage that and save them the cost. Amazon charges a fucking fortune.
You know what we should, I just had a crazy idea. Instead of even having like a system of building like one, let's say one website, quote unquote, and having giving multiple access to like different people, what I think we should just simply do is create a one page that says, I'm looking for coffee. Here's my zip code,
Oh, that's sick.
and
How
then
quick could
just
you get it to me?
right, and I just say I need it today, and then you could have people on the other side saying like, "Hey, we could deliver coffee to you within, hours or even within
Yeah.
minutes, depending on where you are." It's almost like aggregating just on a simple a parameter basis, aggregating different local businesses that are, let's just even call it like only that are on Shopify for the moment that can actually go in
Mhm.
through that. That I think that would be really, really cool to do actually.
Yeah, like a search engine,
It's like a
like
directory, basically.
a
It's like
merchant
a
directory. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and
Like
just
I
make it
want coffee in
localized.
Toronto or I want coffee in Belleville. Yeah,
Because
I think that's
how
cool.
otherwise would you find it? Because you have to go on Google and you have to type in and who's going to be on that list and who can deliver on the
Yeah.
same day. You have to go through the whole process almost
Well,
of like shipping and all this.
here's the other thing. If it's a Shopify merchant, you know a couple things. One, chances are they're on Shopify payments, which means they're also going to take Google Pay, Apple Pay,
Right.
and Shop Pay, which is Shopify's quick pay system. So you know that. You also know that I have a horse bashing a bucket. You also know that on Shopify there is a degree of security. So you know that going through that checkout process, your information is secure. You're
Right.
not stuck with some weirdo with a fucking WordPress website running WooCommerce, which is as unsecure as possible.
Right.
Um, and you're not going to have that problem. So I think there's also a level of
Trust.
familiarity, there's a level of security, and there's also a level of, oh, I'm supporting another Canadian company, or at least for us, like
Right.
or yeah, like just because Shopify's Canadian, we for some reason are very obsessed with that. Um,
That's
like
good.
even our government is like they're obsessed with the fact that Shopify is Canadian.
Yeah.
So it's that, like, I think that's a great idea. I think that's something we could leverage and probably put together pretty damn quick. Maybe now you've got me thinking programmatically, which means this is going to derail very quickly. So
Well,
change the
all it is,
subject before I fuck it off.
all it is, if you really think about it, is just an intake form of people that are willing to be part of that program, right? Like to say,
Yeah.
hey, I'm on this and this address, and then what we would do is just simply,
Like, here's what I offer for shipping.
yeah, just put a zip code in and say, oh, this person's here, this person's here. This is a, how far are you willing to go for pickup, or how far
Yep.
is the merchant willing to deliver, type of thing.
Yeah, I think that's a cool idea. I think that's a really neat.
I think Shopify would love that shit.
Oh yeah, like and you could put an app in your Shopify, like an integrated Shopify app.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
for
yeah,
anybody watching, this is how we come up with shit. This is
yeah.
how we come up with
Exactly.
ideas.
Exactly.
It's literally like bounce it back and forth and ping pong for a while until one of us decides to build it.
Yeah, I think we should definitely do that. I
Write
just
that
put
down. Write it. Write,
Yeah, yeah,
take a
yeah.
note. Write
Oh,
that.
it's on the video.
Oh wait, we're right. I forgot we weren't just chatting for shits. For shits and giggles.
Yeah, exactly. No,
It's an
I
hour
think
of my
that's
afternoon.
there you go. Yeah, it's all part of work at the end of the day. I love it. No,
That's the
this
best
is
part of this
awesome.
job too.
Yeah, exactly. We get to just shoot the
Like,
shit sometimes and think about stuff.
well, we come up with some really cool ideas. Do they actually always come to fruition? No,
Yeah.
but and that's one of the things that I think frustrates my family sometimes about me is, as I told you the other day, my mom's like, "You're a fucking serial entrepreneur. Figure it out." And I'm like, "No, there's just so much."
Yeah.
She's like, "You
Yeah.
haven't made your first million yet." And I'm like, "I'm working on it." Like
We're gonna sell that game that we're building.
that's right. She always jokes that I'm like after I'm hunting for my first million.
Yeah.
Um, I don't like being complacent. That's why I can't work in a job for like our parents' generation had this thing where they're like, "Oh, I have the job with the pension. I gotta stay here forever, even though I fucking hate it." And I'm just
Right.
like, I would kill myself if I had to tolerate
But you
a
also
job that
have
I
to think
hated.
but you also have to think about, like, even my parents are like that because they had kids early on and they felt like that was the only secure way of supporting people. And
Yeah,
look at us, like you and Andrew don't have kids, you have your horses. Obviously you have to support them, but at the end of the
yeah.
day they're not
I
like
can sell them.
exactly. And it's like on my end, like my girlfriend and I, we don't have any kids, so it's like, oh, if you want to change your job tomorrow, as long as you feel comfortable and you feel happy about it, then just do it. You
Yep.
don't have
And as
anybody
long as
else
the
to.
bills get paid, who fucking cares?
Exactly, exactly. So no, that's really awesome. No, I think this is awesome. I think we definitely need to work on that idea. I think aggregating local zip code based like merchants like that just on Shopify, literally just focus on
GeoShop.
Shopify.
Check the name GeoShop.
Okay,
See if that
checking it right.
domain's available.
Checking it now
GeoShop.
actually. GeoShop. I think that sounds like it would be taken if
It's
it's
one of my
not. That's
favorite
a
things is naming shit.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Me too. Me too. Oh, did I?
I
Oh,
love coming up with shit like that.
I told you I couldn't believe that I got the name myvegancookie.com. Like I feel like that's such a like a
Dude, the fact we
SEO.
got pintweets.com is unreal.
I know, right? We still have to finish that shit up.
Ugh,
GeoShop.
I hate that project.
Okay.
I hate working in Twitter's API. It's such a misery.
Oh, it was
Because they don't want you in it.
registered in 2001. Somebody's ahead of the curve.
Let me think of other names.
Yeah.
You'll have to give me some time on that, and I'll have to get like really fucking high and just come up with some
I
shit.
have even a better one. Geo Shopify.
Ooh.
It's available.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think you could do that. I'd be careful on that one. They're pretty good about their IP.
Well, we can buy it and redirect traffic.
That's true. Buy it. Pick it up.
Yep.
I am a domain hoarder as well. I probably have 200 domain names.
Oh, nice. Have you ever sold any of them?
Yes.
Oh, for like significant amounts or just like kind of whatever?
Couple $1,000.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Yeah, like just like horse stuff.
Oh, nice.
I got on that really early when I was like 14. And
I know somebody
let me have their credit card.
And I know somebody that sold doctor.com.
Holy shit. That's a domain name.
$15 million for a fucking domain name.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
See,
I see your
chickens.
chickens.
Millions coming.
I see your chickens.
Oh.
Oh, look at them. They're so happy.
A lot of these are babies.
Oh.
They are happy. They are the happiest freeloaders right now because they're currently not laying eggs really.
Oh.
We've only got 3 of them laying eggs. So my mom's like, a bunch of freeloaders. But they're fun to watch.
Well, what were you gonna say? Sorry, I cut you off.
Oh, I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
Tracks.
Perfect. Cool. Yeah, I think this was awesome to just kind of chat it out, and I mean, I even learned a few things about you today. That's fucking awesome.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What didn't you know?
I think I think, well, I knew, but I think I was just opened up to more of like the family lifestyle that you guys have. I
Oh,
think
yeah,
that's
yeah. Yeah,
really,
we
really,
are really fucking family oriented.
I love
Um,
that. I think
Crazy.
that's like key to everything. I think that's like that's like a huge part of your DNA, and I think that like
Mhm.
resembles a lot of the stuff that you do.
I'm a very loyal person, to a fault sometimes, but I think our family values are very important. Like, and I say family values hesitantly because I don't want people to think I'm like a crazy alt-right Christian, because I'm complete opposite of that. But um, like super hard left, pagan or spiritual person. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's important to us, and I think it's something that I wish more people would try, you know?
Right.
Like, I do I disagree with my parents all the fucking time?
Yeah, of
Do I
course.
Does my dad call me an idiot? 90% of the time. Does my mom
Yeah.
call me but does my mom say I'm trying to kill her? Pretty much every day. But at the same time, we also all get along really well.
Right.
So, I mean, clearly no one's been murdered in the past 6 months, and we've all been home together, other than my
Right.
brother. Um, I haven't tried to kill anybody yet. No one's tried to kill me, to the best of my knowledge. I'm still here. So
There you go. There you go. I love it. I love it. Awesome, Mallory. I think this is epic. I'm gonna post this and make sure that everyone understands how fucking awesome you are, and all that good stuff. So thanks again for
cool.
jumping on. And I think now you probably have to leave in a little bit to your situation today. But yeah,
Yeah,
let's.
in a bit. I got some tickets to write, actually,
There we go. There we
before
go.
I
I love
go.
it. But no,
I
truly,
miss
I'm
my whole life.
truly blessed to have you on the team, and I appreciate everything that you do. And thank you again for finding us. I mean, it means the fucking world to me.
Well, thank you for bringing me into your world and keeping me in it and welcoming me into your little family. Um, at
There's no
some point,
taco
I'll get
without
back there.
Mallory anymore. There's no taco without Mallory.
I'm the filling.
Yeah,
I'm
you
the
are the
greasy
filling.
filling.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. Exactly.
yeah, no, it's now become, we can't spell taco without a K anymore in this house.
No,
So
no, nobody
even my
can.
friggin' mother does it. No one can spell taco without a K.
I
So
love it.
that's what I keep telling people. And um, I love what I do so much. And I love the team I work for. And this is cool. Like, how many jobs do you sit and spend your afternoon fucking podcasting
Hey, whenever you
and
want to
just
jump
shooting this
on,
shit?
next time we should do something on Instagram Live and just like see how many people are willing to listen in. I never
No
go.
way. Nobody
I
wants to
never
listen to
go.
me.
I know, but you never know. You never know. We'll see. We'll figure it out. Like
Actually, you
we
know
all
what? I
like.
could maybe get someone from Shopify if you want.
We should. We should definitely get everyone
Let
and
me let
anyone.
me see who I can get.
Can we
I
do three-way? I don't think Instagram
No, we
Live.
can't do a three-waysy.
Uh, no, 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 no.
No, we can't. I'm kidding.
No,
I'm
no,
kidding.
no.
You can do Instagram Live. I don't know, but obviously
I
Zoom
don't
we
use it
can.
enough. I don't use it enough.
I never use Live. No one gives a shit about what I do every day. Be
Yeah.
like, oh, look at my cat.
You should do a.
Um,
You should do a daily chicken live.
oh God, wake
Just,
up,
just, just
yell.
literally go on live and be like, "Look at the chicken today! Look at the chicken!" and just turn it off. And people will be like, "What the fuck is going on here?"
What's wrong with her? Why would she do that? I'll do with the baby horse. I think people are really interested in, so I should do
Yeah.
with her.
Yeah, and
Um,
everybody who's listening to this should follow Mallory on her Instagram because it's fucking awesome with all the horse stuff that she does.
nerd.dressage, DRESSAGE.
And I'll put it in the show notes too so that people could
Yeah,
follow shit.
yeah, that's the sport I do, is dressage. It's dancing with horses. Eddie Izzard once called it parking your horse in a box, or parking your horse in a cupboard, is how he described it, dressage once. Great comedian
Interesting.
if you don't know him. Yeah. Um, so yeah, that's what we do here. We dance with horses,
I love it. I love
sometimes
it.
poorly. So thanks again, Z. No, this is awesome. We'll do something. I'll do some sort of, maybe a farm tour
Oh,
at some point.
I would love it. We should we should definitely put that on the YouTube channel, our Tako YouTube channel.
Yeah, I can edit it together and yeah.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean,
Awesome.
actually, when we do the taco retreat, we'll hire a videographer, aka my brother, because that's what he went to school for, was does media, and he can come video this shit, and we'll do the taco retreat. I also, when we do the taco retreat, my best friend runs. They're certified in what's called FEELS, so equine assisted learning. They do like for businesses, for corporations, they do like a retreat, not a retreat, but it's like a thing where you learn to interact with horses, and it helps you kind of bring out leadership skills and all sorts of shit. They like specialize it to your company. I talked to her about doing it when we all get together at her place, and she's not far from here. So
Woo! I'm excited.
And then you're gonna get on Sam.
Yes, me and Sam. That's like my brother.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
He's oh, there he is. Can you see him? He's right.
Yeah. Samuel.
There he is.
Oh my God. I love it. That's awesome.
Your other son.
My other son.
Nephew.
And then here's here, let me move my camera a little bit. Look at him.
Oh, he's asleep.
Yeah.
That poor man.
Yeah. He
looks like
pillow.
He looks like he's just toast.
He had a run-in with his friend this morning, and they just were like chasing each other
so he's
around.
very tired.
Yeah, he's emotionally drained.
That sounds like me.
He's emotionally drained.
Yeah, no, that's it's sad that you're not like you're on the other coast, because if you were to come, you should like bring Buddy, and he would probably have a blast here. He can eat all the horse shit you could ever want, chase chickens. There's squirrels everywhere. I'm not against
driving.
That would be a cool drive, actually. I've been thinking about driving out to Idaho for something, which sounds ridiculous because it's Idaho, but California's not that far.
Oh man, I think that would be awesome. Just stop in random places throughout the country, and then make it all the way up and drive through. Like do halfway through US and then go up to Canada and do the other
through Alberta and go across. Now the problem is, if you do that, the part you'll drive through in Canada is fucking terrible. There's nothing there. It's a bunch of nothing.
Oh man.
If you go through Manitoba and Saskatchewan, it's fuck all.
I'm gonna have you send me your actual address. I'm really curious to see how many hours that would take to drive from here to there.
Okay, I'll do that. You can see.
That would be
rent a car. Oh, you rent a VW minibus, convert that shit to a camper. I could see you doing that.
Yeah, 100%.
Rent a camper, but I think the VW minibus is more you.
They're awesome. Those minibus, I see them all the time, and I just literally want to stop.
Of course you do. It's fucking California. Bunch of hippies, Northern California.
I love it.
Isn't there a bunch of cults up there too?
Yeah, there's all kinds of weird shit. I can't even keep up with all the weird shit that's going on. I'm inside my little house here working, and then I just look outside, and I'm like, what the fuck's going on out there?
Close the window. See, this is why I'm surrounded by trees. So nobody sees me. Nobody talks to me. The road, the road is behind the trees. Like, no one fucking sees me. It's great.
Oh, that's the best. I want to live there. That's like my dream. You live in my dream.
There's a spare bedroom.
I need like 30 acres.
No, there are 2 lots severed off that are for sale though. I don't own them. Someone else does, but
we need to talk. We're gonna combine everything
Tako
together.
can buy them.
Yeah.
We're only 33,000 Canadian. That's like $20 US.
There you go. I love it. Awesome, Mallory. Well, thank you so much again for doing this. This was really, really awesome. I'm super happy this was about fun. It. Yeah, absolutely.
So we'll try and get someone from Shopify on, I think, and just sort of talk about Shopify, where it's been, where it's going. I could maybe swing. I doubt I could swing Toby, but I could certainly try.
Toby would be awesome, but we don't need to worry about that. It's not about who's on it. It's just like the people that are interesting. They want to.
It's the conversation.
Exactly.
He's actually super interesting to talk to, but he has a lot of handlers now, so that wouldn't be as fun. I think you'd be having more fun with someone from like the product team.
Right. Yeah, that would be really cool. We should definitely work on that. I think that would be. You could be my co-host.
I actually, honestly, I hate to say this because I pretended like I was loath to do this, but I love this. I
Yeah.
always wanted to have like a podcast or a vlog. I tried vlogging and I was shit at it. So, and I have the radio voice.
Yeah.
So it's something I've always wanted to try doing, but I'm just human trash.
Hey,
So
we can you whenever you want to join any of the talks that I'm having here, you always more than welcome to.
cool. Well, let me know who's coming up and let's do that. We should
Awesome.
get Brian. We should get Brian.
Oh, you know who's hopefully coming on is Ben Parr from Octane AI.
Oh,
Yeah, so
okay. How did you get him?
it was the conversation through LinkedIn. I'm about to send him an
Oh
email,
shit.
and
Okay.
yeah, so that guy would be really really interesting to talk to, because they just got some
Ask.
cool funding, and they just released a really cool product, by the way, the shoppable quiz. Did you see that?
I did. I saw someone demoing it. That's really sick. We should also try and get. Have we had like Recharge on?
No, no, that's something I'm talking
We should
to
get
our
Recharge.
guy over
I
there.
honestly, if you do that, I will be on that. I'd also like to talk to Bold. Those guys are awesome.
Yeah,
And they're
yeah.
Canadian. I'll give them that. Bold's really cool. Out of the Sandbox might be neat. They're a theme developer. I think they
I'm
could
a huge
offer
fan. I'm a huge fan of Andrew Wilkinson, by the way.
Andrew Wilkinson
He's
from
like he's like one of the he's from Tiny Capital. He used to run a
oh
design
yeah, yeah.
agency. Yeah, he's a really sharp dude. I really like him too. So no, I think they bought out of the Sandbox, I believe. So
Yeah, I knew someone bought them. I just didn't know who it
yeah.
was. Oh, you know what? Why don't we talk to oh shit, what's his name from Locksmith? Those guys.
Yeah. Isaac.
Isaac and his husband are the salt of the earth, nicest people. Their whole team is lovely. Um, they're power
Whatever you
gays
can
is what
set up,
we
you
called
should reach
them.
out to them. You should reach out to
I
them. I'd love
will.
to
Yeah.
set that up, and then we can get a conversation going.
Yeah, they were, oh my God, they're so much fun, those guys.
Yeah, I had a good chat with them at Unite a couple of years
So did
ago.
I like sat and drank with them for hours.
It's so funny that we probably had met at the time and we didn't know that we met.
Probably like you went to the after party, right? The party
Yeah.
at the docks there. Okay, so that venue, I've seen some really cool bands there. But yeah, no, that like honestly, I was like, oh, fucking loud music and shitty rap music. I don't want to listen to it. So I went outside and I sat with those guys. And actually, the whole time, that whole night, we were hanging out with those guys, and it was a
Oh,
super fun time. Did you
yeah.
ride the mechanical bull?
No, I didn't. No, I
You should
didn't.
have.
Yeah.
You should have. I was
I was
going
just
to, but I was too drunk for that.
yeah, I was I got pretty drunk, and then I brought my own little joint, so I was like smoking weed on the side over there.
Fucking
Yeah.
Canada, no one gives a
And
shit.
I was like chilling, I was like just observing, I was like people watching, and I was like, I think it's time for me to ride my bike back to my hotel.
I feel like I saw you off to the side smoking weed and was like, wow, that guy's a fucking weirdo.
Probably. Yeah, I
Yeah,
had a
and
blast.
then I
Toronto
remember
was
like
awesome.
6 of us. Oh, Toronto's amazing. I would never live there, but visiting, like I
Yeah,
go, it's only 2 hours from here. Like I go, well, not now, but we used to go all the time. Like we
yeah,
would go for my birthday every year. We'd get like a 4-star hotel and then just fucking
yeah. I
party.
love it.
And by party, I mean drink beer and fall asleep. But
Be adults.
I've done that since I was like 17.
Yeah,
Actually, no, not
exactly.
even 17. But yeah, no, it's like I think we should do something in Toronto because I'm sad Unite was canceled this year. Actually, that's something I was super bummed out about
Yeah, yeah,
was Unite. That
yeah,
fucking oh, I cried. I didn't cry about it, but I
yeah,
internally cried about it. It was the location was going to be so cool. You guys were going to come up.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. Unfortunate,
Heartbreak,
but
heartbreak. I hope
yeah.
they keep doing it in Toronto. I don't know what their plan is there though.
I think it's all going virtual for the time being, to be honest.
That's lame.
I know. It kind
I
of
do
kills
that
the
every
vibe.
day.
I know.
Be
I
people.
know.
I can't believe I'm saying that. I'm an introvert.
Yeah, but that's at the same time, like those are the kind of things that sometimes you're just like, oh, I just want to be outside for a little bit at least. Like, give me
Well,
an
and
hour of people.
I did so much at Unite last year in terms of like the different workshops I did and may not have got value at the time out of them, but now in hindsight I've seen value from them.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
the just some of the developer stuff and even just like the feature workshops and like agency scaling because I was at another agency at the time and just
Yeah.
um yeah, I'm bummed about Unite. Oh well, it'll come
It is what
again.
it is. It is what it is, you know.
Corona is what Corona is,
I know.
and it's
Fucking
a bitch.
sucks, but yeah, it is what it is. But awesome. Well,
All right,
this is really cool. So I'm pumped for this to come out. I'm gonna probably post this sometime next Friday.
sweet.
And yeah, we'll go from there. Thanks, Mallory, and I'll chat with you soon at our work Slack.
Yeah, we'll go back to work now.
Back to work.
All right.
All righty. Have a great day,
Thanks,
Mallory.
dude. Peace.
Bye.